Now, what is up, everyone? This is Supreme Penguin here, and today we will be finally talking about Call of Duty Vanguard. This is like the, I don't even know, 30th Call of Duty game at this point. I mean, I don't even count anymore. And they have barely innovated. It's like, I don't know, it's like the same as Modern Warfare. It's like, Modern Warfare 2019 3, it's basically just like a DLC. Like, they didn't even bother to change like the user interface. They've like made a few minor changes, like stuff where you expect like any other game franchise to have these types of changes. It's just like minor updates. But nope, this is literally an entirely new game apparently. But let's talk about the positives first. I mean, this is honestly like, I've had more fun playing the multiplayer in this game than I did with Modern Warfare and Cold War, and that's because, like, those two games are both complete sweat fests. Modern Warfare had, like, the weird map design and, like, all, like, the weird spawn glitches, and Cold War had the horrendous skill-based matchmaking. This game barely has any of those problems, and that makes the multiplayer genuinely pretty fun at some points. And that's about it. So now let's get to the negatives of the multiplayer. So at the moment, there are still a lot of like bugs and glitches, despite the fact that the game's been out for like 3 months. As you can see right here, my entire game froze, and then my console proceeded to crash. And also notice how the graphics don't look too much better from like Black Ops 4, even World War II from like 4 years ago. And this isn't on my Xbox One, this is like on my brand new Series X, and the graphics still look outdated and old. Like, they didn't even bother to put like any new interesting game modes in, like it's just the same stuff as usual. It's like Team Deathmatch, Domination, Hardpoint, and Kill Confirmed. Stuff we've seen like a million times before. Like, they only add like 1 or 2 like new crazy wacky game modes that like aren't even that fun and like that were clearly not thought through. And there was also some like destructible cover gimmick, which like obviously they didn't like take full advantage of it. It's just like only a few select parts had quote unquote destructible cover, and it's like, why even advertise it? It's like not even that cool of a gimmick. It's like something that other franchises have been doing for years, and like they also haven't even added any like new interesting kill streaks. Like, they add like 1 or 2 each year, but it's all pretty much like the same as what we've been getting, with like a few names swapped around, and obviously trying to change stuff out for the times, but that's it. And I don't know why, but they added laser scopes to a World War II game, even though I don't remember seeing anything about laser scopes in like 1945 when this is supposed to take place. Like, I'm pretty sure the first laser scope was invented in like 1979. And I mean, there's really nothing else to talk about for the multiplayer. I mean, it's just kind of average, like nothing too good, nothing too bad about it. I mean, they've got a lot of maps. They're not great, but I mean, they're definitely better than having like 5 maps at launch like the past 4 games have had. And they also try to be extra politically correct with this one. And they clearly only have like one faction, and that's like the British, because we all get like the same announcer. Or in other words, my team or enemy team. Like, they've gotten like that lazy. Like, they don't even bother to put in like any like country factions. It's just that they are trying this hard not to offend anybody about it. And it's like one of the devs actually saw extra credits video that like was made a few years ago and took it as like actual criticism and ignored like everything else we said.
There you are, playing the PvP in your World War II shooter, and all of a sudden, you're a Nazi.
Now, usually in like more recent COD games, it's like usually been like the campaign that's like the savior of the game, and same with like the zombies. Does it apply for this game? Not really, no. The campaign is just painfully like mediocre, like the characters are all kind of bland. And the zombies, hot damn, this year is just no. Like, they didn't even seem to try this year. Black Ops Cold War had a great zombies. Black Ops 4, although controversial, it at least had actual interesting content and mechanics. But this time, it is just so dull and like bland that like I don't even know what to say. Like there's one map, and Cold War launches one zombies map, but at least D Machine, that's what it's called, I'm pretty sure, was actually an interesting map. But this map is just so like bare bones and bland. Like there isn't even a goddamn wonder weapon, bruh. Or I don't even think there's an Easter egg either. Like they really don't care about this one. And the pack-up punch, like, there isn't even any like cool effects. It just upgrades the stats, and that's about it. Like what happened to all the effort? And they do something that sounds interesting, or instead of like doing like the traditional formula where you slowly unlock sections of the map, instead like it has you like teleported to like random locations and to complete objectives. But this is just lazy. They teleport you to like these even more bare bone maps, and to like do these weird objectives that are just so cookie cutter, and it feels like you're playing a mobile game. This has gotta be like one of, if not the worst zombie games to date in the Call of Duty franchise. And sadly, I doubt they're gonna be going back to the regular formula. And now we are finally gonna be talking about the campaign. Now, the last two COD campaigns, Modern Warfare and Cold War, have both been genuinely great campaigns in terms of gameplay, kind of story. And does this game live up to those aspects? No, it does not. In neither of those aspects. Like, it really feels like this game has taken a major step back from the past two campaigns. Modern Warfare had, like, an interesting story. Although it did rely heavily on shock value, it still had an interesting story at its core, with gameplay that was shaken up. And Cold War took its gameplay even farther, with like having more like unique aspects about it. But Vanguard just seems to be taking a major step back. The gameplay once again is painfully linear. Like it is just really boring to play. Like everything just feels really on rails and safe. And the story sounds interesting on paper, but it is pretty like kind of mediocre. All the characters are all just kind of cardboard cutouts of like generic action movie protagonists. Like we got the silent but deadly sniper, we got the demolition expert, we got the hotshot smartass pilot, we got the leader, and I forgot what the other ones are about. Now, I do have a few other criticisms, but I'd rather not get into them because they are somewhat political. On both sides, obviously. Like, I'm kind of criticizing both sides, but I'd rather not get into them. And that's pretty much all I really have to say about the campaign. Like, I'm not going to go fully in depth about it. Like, maybe once I get better editing software, I might do more in-depth reviews, but that's all I'm going to say for now. I mean, overall, this was a pretty mediocre game. It's like, I don't know, another year, another mediocre, half-baked Call of Duty. Like, I'm not even expecting much for next year. Sledgehammer is probably the worst of the three developers. I might make a video about it. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Please leave a comment, and if you liked what you were watching, then subscribe. I will make more videos in the future. Next video will probably be a review of Halo Infinite, like a more brief one like this, but yeah, that's about it, guys. Have a nice day, and goodbye.